I killed Nathan Hale. I had no choice. He was becoming one of them. He could have stopped me, but I think he wanted to die. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to the second section of Chapter 7 in my Resistance 3 Superhuman difficulty video walkthrough. And anybody who's played Gears of War will understand the concept of what's about to take place. If you remember on Act 4 when you went to the Phoenix Estate, or Phoenix Estate as I pronounce to say, 'cause it's not spelled Phoenix, you had to defend a mansion, and they came from the bottom floor and they came in the mansion and so on and so forth, and this is the exact same principle. The dropship will drop troops over where I've just been aiming for the first wave, and then the second wave is on the opposite side to my right. And what will happen is, if you can kill them all before they get towards the bar, you will have no problems whatsoever. You might take a couple of shots because the enemies are super accurate and they do a lot of damage, but they won't get inside. If they get towards the barricade and break it down, they will be up in your face, and that is not what you want. So the best thing to do is, I know that I can defend this left flank quite easily because I did it the first time I played the game. And that's why I'm using the marksman. The first thing I did on my first playthrough was to use the revolver because of the detonating rounds were super useful, but I wasted them all, and on the second half is where the big enemies turn up, the Ravagers turn up, and they're a lot more aggressive, so I saved that for the right hand side. What you've got to bear in mind as well, the hedgehog grenades now act like mines. They are proximity mines. You want to use them. You also want to use your grenades because you'll not be needing them for the next few levels. Also, the secondary fire of the marksman releases a turret, and depending on the level of the upgrade to it will depend on how useful the turret is. That's an auger. I'm trying to headshot him. I somehow didn't get shot by his auger rounds. I got very lucky there. That is a Ravager, and he just dropped his shield, which enabled me to shoot him with the secondary fire. Unfortunately, I got hit. Did you see the hit detection then? The hit marker on the screen said something hit me from behind, and for a second I thought somebody was in, but I'm like, how the hell can anybody be in? It's physically impossible. I've watched them come. But just keep throwing your grenades, keep shooting them with whatever guns you want, but just bear in mind you will have to take on a more difficult wave on the right. But just keep nailing dudes, keep shooting people. And it was kind of funny earlier on. I was at my grandma's for dinner, and I have my Sunday dinner there. It's kind of a ritual that we've always had. And hey, level 2 marksman finally. I now have a scope and I now can kill people. And she asked me what I've been up to, and I basically said I've been making a guide for one of the new games. And a little info on my grandma. She's very old-fashioned. She's in her 70s now. She's, you know, she survived a fucking war type thing. Well, I should have said she lived through it, and she's seen the evolution of technology go from being, you know, infantile and archaic to this hyper technology interconnectivity that we live in today. And she's not the biggest supporter of it. She's very religious, she's very stubborn, although I love her to bits, and she's kind of set in her ways about what she does. And she's always kind of demonized any kind of new technology, be it the phone, be it the internet, be it the TV type stuff, because she believed it built barriers between people. It didn't benefit us, you know, as a society. It made us more antisocial, and there's a lot of truth in her philosophy, but it's also extremely flawed through her own pride. But like I say, I love it a bit, and the first thing she said when I mentioned I've been making a guide for this, she obviously didn't understand too much that goes into it, because her preconceived notion of what gaming is these days is very negative. This is a fantastic strategy, by the way. That Ravager got stuck trying to bust down the door, and I just kept hitting him on the chin with the auger, and there's nothing he could do. It was just so funny. But the first thing she said is, you shouldn't spend too long playing them games because you'll get DVT, and it cracked me up so bad. I was laughing pretty like hysterically, because for anybody that doesn't know what DVT is, it's deep vein thrombosis, and this is something that can be very dangerous. It can kill you, actually, if I'm completely serious about the matter, and it's caused by large periods of inactivity. And I don't know too much about it, I just know what it is, and I know, you know, the type of thing. And it isn't a good thing. It's the type of people that, you know, long-distance drivers suffer from it, because their feet are constantly, you know, on the pedals, and they're doing it for massive hour spells without any kind of movement. And probably people that, you know, like quadriplegic or something might suffer from that kind of stuff because they can't move the legs, so they'll get sores and they'll get maybe deep vein thrombosis, that kind of stuff. I'm not an expert on it, but that's that's the one thing she said. There was none of the creative side or any of that, or the interest that I'm doing something that could hopefully one day, you know, pave my future or or something along those lines, of something really positive and interesting. It was just kind of like, don't get this illness from doing this antisocial behaviour. You should be out, you know, sucking up the sunshine type of thing. And it just really, really cracked me up. But anyhow, back to the game, because another challenging section is coming up. Once you've done that area, that you will get a trophy for defending that bar if nobody gets inside it. And it can be quite challenging to do, but if you know what you're doing, one thing to bear in mind is they can bust the barricade down, that is fine. If anybody steps foot in the pub, you've officially failed. But before that, you're okay. I did get the trophy, I think on the recording run. I can't remember if I had the notifications turned off. I know I didn't later on, because a couple of people signed in and started, you know, staining the guide with their names, but I'll let them off, because it's just one of those things. But this section coming up is bad. The reason it's bad is you're taking on one of the brawlers, which is the big guy off the 4th level who knocks you about and throws cars at you and fires the grenades, the airsoft grenades or whatever they're called, airfoil, I can't remember the names. And I also noticed that is a grenade you could use on the other resistances, and yet on this one it's not here and he has it. So a giant ape that runs around destroying walls can use these grenades but we can't. I think that's kind of racist. Especially considering there's about 5 grenades on this game, so one more is clearly not going to, you know, disrupt the paradigm or the equilibrium. It's just another grenade, and I really liked those ones because they set the air on fire. They were like the napalm of Vietnam type thing. But the reason this is difficult, anyhow, back to the tangent I was originally on, is you take on the boss, but at the same time there's a bunch of Chimera troops that will shoot you. And there's about 4 or 5 of them that are all on the balcony, and the problem with it is they do some severe damage. They are some massive assholes. So the first thing I do is I throw a grenade up and try and get rid of them. The boss himself, the brawler, is not a problem. I can kill brawlers on any difficulty and have not much trouble because they're like any enemy. They're like the Berserker off Gears of War. It will rush at you, you dodge it, you shoot it. It's A, B, it's very simple. The Chimera, though, they do more damage than he does, and you need to really watch them. And this guy gets me trapped a couple times, so you can go up the top area and go into the rooms where he runs around and start smashing walls. The only problem with that is I can't control his movements. In this area, aside from clipping a couple times, because the game is not the, you know, it's good, but there is a lot of clipping if you look for it. This way I can use where he moves to predict his pattern and to damage him as quickly as possible. I think I'm getting shot at by the Chimera. You can see the gun blast coming over me. And he somehow hit me then, which is bullshit because I was below him. But all you have to do is keep shooting the glowing bits till they blow up. If you can blow them up, it doesn't matter if he's mid-charge, mid-attack or what. They will stun him and put him in an animation that is completely passive. And once you've blown his armor off and his arms off, he'll do this little dance that you can see right now, and then it'll be his torso that you have to shoot. If you can blow up his torso quick enough, he'll be dead before you know it. And the only threat is the Chimera that are tagging me right now. Luckily enough, I do believe their AI is a little bit more passive than they normally are, so for whatever reason, they didn't kill me then, and they could have. They easily could have killed me, but they didn't. So just keep shooting his torso, just keep taking him on it like you have, and if you die a few times on this area, that is not a bad thing, because you will fight this guy at the end of the game. He is the equivalent of the last boss, and he's in another area where enemies will attack you if you're not careful. So the better you are at fighting this guy, the easier you will have it at the end of the game. Because the last battle with this kid, right on the last chapter, is easily one of the most challenging rooms in the game if you do it incorrectly. But there he goes, he does his little animation of dying. You will get an achievement, I think, for... Oh no, sorry, that's for the very first one. If you beat the first brawler without taking damage, you get an achievement. Superhuman might not be the difficulty to try it on, but it's more than possible, because the only times he really catches you out is if he does the fire moves or the shockwave moves. And I fought that guy a couple times, and he doesn't do them every time. It's only on occasion. His AI is very intelligent and very different. Sometimes he'll climb up on rubble and throw stuff at you, other times he'll just charge at you. It's kind of cool, and definitely one of the features that makes the game more interesting. Although the AI for the normal Chimeran soldiers is a bit fucking dumb, because they're kind of programmed to, as soon as everything's dead, they just bull rush you, and they are extremely dangerous on Superhuman when they do this, so you need to be careful. But that is effectively the end of Chapter 7. We're just going to be going down the tunnel now and meeting up with Elvis, as I call him, and slowly making our way towards New York. So as always, people, thanks for watching. I hope the guide's helping, and you take care now.